Welcome to 303 Hoops, a whole lot more than the box score. For you hoop junkies, number nerds, or just someone who loves basketball, this is for the love of the game. Live from 303, I'm Ryan Hinske.
And I'm Caleb Bunch. People, we're back.
We had a week.
Yeah. Ryan went
away
to the Super Bowl.
Yes.
I felt like I didn't miss Ryan, though.
Super Bowl Media Week.
Yeah, Super Bowl Media Week.
Unlike during winter break when you accidentally said that we spent our break together.
Yeah.
We were not.
Yeah, we were not together.
And you were in Mexico.
I was in Mexico.
How was that?
Mexico was great. Warm weather.
Yes.
It's
that
warmer
was
than Chicago.
One of the biggest takeaways for me, too.
I never enjoyed Mexico as, like, someone who could, like, really process Mexico for what it was. I was younger when I went. But I was able to go as an adult, and it was great. I loved Mexico. Mexico City's a great city, late-night city, great food, awesome culture, great music. So I would encourage people to visit. But even though I wasn't with Ryan, I felt like I didn't really miss you too much. I saw every stand-up that you did. Guys,
you saw my face every day in one way or another.
Guys, Ryan was reporting quite a bit.
Yeah.
He was getting it in at Media Week, man. I can't fault him, though. It's the best opportunity to do that, right? Like, that's the mecca for reporters, like Super Bowl, like that. It doesn't get bigger than that.
It was that kind of event for me. It was like if you're not doing something, I felt like I wasn't as productive as others because sometimes I was just talking to the players.
I mean, yeah.
Like not even getting it on recording.
But that's half the reason we're there. Like,
yeah.
Or you're there.
Like the experience itself was pretty incredible.
Of course.
And I'm glad it was for you too.
Yeah, no, it was awesome. Mini doc on the way.
I feel like you really see Mexico when you go to Mexico City. I've never been to Mexico at all, so I don't really know what I'm saying.
Nah, yeah, I mean...
But, like, if you're just in Cancun, like, you're not really getting...
Like, Mexico City's touristy, don't get me wrong, but there's definitely neighborhoods that you can go to, which my partner and I did, that you can experience, like, local Mexican cuisine. Goodness, tongue twister. And then just, like, experience, like, Mexico for what it is, like, talking to the people and whatnot, which we had the opportunity to do when filming. So, guys, that documentary is on its way, and... Ryan still has a whole story that's coming out, so stay tuned. We're not going anywhere. But
we're back.
We
got to talk hoops.
Yeah.
So let's get into it with Song of the Day. They know it's going to happen. You guys know that we can't skip it.
And guys, do you like the angle? Like we kind of angled down today? You might not be able to tell, but...
Post-trip, like, change.
Yeah. Like,
we'll see how it looks.
We'll see.
But I think I like it so far.
Yeah, it looks good.
Man, that halftime show was... awesome.
Yeah.
It made a Bad Bunny fan out of me.
I was grooving to it.
It was great. Whatever you think about it, music is subjective.
Right.
But it was objectively great.
Yeah.
Sorry, but...
the music was awesome.
Titi Me Pregunto. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. I don't think I am.
It's close
Mexico
enough.
City guy.
Titi Me Pregunto.
Yeah, there you go. I took French. But... boy, that was good.
Yeah.
Right out the gate.
Yeah.
Like the breakdown was
Nunca.
Yeah.
Nunca.
Oh, that was great. That was super cool.
Never stop believing in yourself.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Just really good messaging all the way through. It was cool to go back and like see what the translations were and like really dive into the meaning behind it. Not that I couldn't understand it the first time, but the words itself. It was just a cool experience to kind of analyze from just a NFL fans' perspective, an entertainment fans' perspective.
And we've never had a halftime show like that. Like,
no.
Whole thing in a different language, right? Not only the fact that it was in a different language.
Side of North and South America.
Yeah, culturally different. Like we've had Shakira and J-Lo, but I don't think they encompass Latin American culture as much as Bad Bunny did.
Yes.
And I don't think anybody would argue really that
Which
point.
Is millions, hundreds of millions of people.
Yeah. I mean, dude, Mexico City in of itself is the largest city in the Americas and like the largest city in the Western Hemisphere.
You said 3 New York cities, right?
Yeah, it's 25 million people like Metro. And like New York City's like 8 or 9 Metro. Yeah. Like it's crazy. Yeah. So yeah, it was awesome though. Great representation, educational experience for sure. But yeah, I think a lot of people enjoyed it, even those that don't listen to Latin music as much. They're still able to groove to it. So, awesome show. My song's a little different. I have "Hold Me" by Teddy Pendergrass and Whitney Houston. It's on the Whitney Houston album.
Wrong,
I think that's 1985, something like that. And I love that song. It's the outro to that. So I think it was first time that Whitney and Teddy had collabed as well. Like he was kind of on his rise to fame and he hit his pinnacle right there. So I love that song. Can't go wrong with Teddy. Definitely can't go wrong with Whitney. So
and
them together.
Who would guess that Teddy Pendergrass is the first repeat artist, I believe, on 303 Hoops.
Yes.
Because I had Love TKO episode 2.
Yeah.
Teddy, out of all the artists, Teddy Pendergrass.
First one.
I love it. That's a great.
I didn't even think about that.
He's incredible. One of the greatest soul musicians
of all time.
Sure. Especially like 70s stuff like that.
So that's what we have. But guys, we weren't able to cover this last week because, like we said, we were out reporting, doing our job, the reason why we're here. But we talked about it in the previous episode. The trade deadline was coming up, but the trade deadline has come to a close. So we would like to talk about who we thought won, who are some of our biggest winners, and of course, who are some of our biggest losers. The Giannis headlines were taking over. A lot of trades happened, whether it was like on a larger scale or smaller scale, right? We saw arguably a star get moved, I think James Harden's still a star.
AD.
So AD got moved as well. So Ryan, who do you have as your again, right? Who do you have as your biggest winners, biggest losers? Tell me about it.
Honorable mention, I want to throw in the Jazz.
Yeah.
We might disagree about this, but I think Jaren Jackson Jr. Fits their timeline.
He does fit the timeline.
His contract isn't massive. It's large, but it's not, Evan Mobley's contract.
Right.
It's I think $30 million a year.
Yeah, he got lucky because they got lucky because he won the DPOY earlier in the timeline than Mobley, right? So once you win the DPOY versus, 3 years before versus now, right? Huge contract stipulations with that, but continue.
So I just like that pickup for them. And I don't think they gave up too much. They had two good guards already, so Walter Clayton getting moved to Memphis could be exciting for Memphis fans. I also really like Taylor Hendricks, but honorable mention to them. But my big 3 winners are all in the East, which is huge.
That is crazy
because we know the balance between the West and the East continues to shift west. Well, the Wizards, Cavs, and Hawks all improved. Yeah, I believe.
I agree with this.
Improved. The Wizards got AD. I think they're the biggest winner because they didn't really have to give up that much.
They didn't.
Let's be honest. Old Chris Middleton.
Yeah.
Some other players that, and it's like barely any picks too, right?
Yeah.
It was
like Chris. I think
3 first
3 picks in total. And like you said, Chris Middleton, Johnson, who hasn't been producing for them, and then Malachi Brahman and Marvin Bagley. So.
Yeah.
You can live with that.
And Branham ended up on the Hornets anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
So, whatever. But I think getting AD to go along with Trae Young brings fans back in the arena. Sells jerseys. You don't necessarily need to become a championship-winning team overnight, but I'm glad they didn't just stay with what they had.
Right, with just Trae Young and the crew.
Right. And it becomes clear that they're not the best decision makers. They got rid of Deni Avdija right before he became an all-star. Maybe it was because they were utilizing him in the wrong way.
Right.
I guess we'll never know, but I like what they did there. The Cavs, that's my team.
Great trade.
They started by getting Dennis Schroeder and Keon Ellis for a bag of chips.
Yeah.
/ DeAndre Hunter.
Yeah.
Who I do like DeAndre Hunter, but let's be honest. Keon Ellis.
Yeah, he's better.
And Dennis Schroeder, who can play. He can play. He's still got speed. He can still draw fouls and pass well and be a really solid backup point guard for a championship-level team. And now he's been on like 13 teams in the league. Keon Ellis is a great defender.
Yeah.
An incredible piece. And the Kings, we might talk about later.
Yeah.
But James Harden, in his 2 games, fourth quarter, the Cavs have come back both games, I think. Fourth quarter, and James Harden has scored the most points so far as a Cav in the both games.
Yeah,
that's what they needed.
That's massive.
That's what Darius Garland wasn't doing.
Yeah,
as great as I think Darius Garland is as a playmaker and a guy that can kind of draw you, uncomfortable defenses and slash through you with his speed and finishing ability. But James Harden, I mean, that's big time hoops. That's
big.
Fourth quarter hoops.
Yeah.
And come playoff time, we'll see how that goes. But
that's a veteran too.
Yeah.
So
Really good player. Yeah. And then the Hawks get Buddy Hield and Jonathan Kuminga for Kristaps Porzingis,
who was injury prone.
Right.
With this time.
So you get two players that are going to play. Mm-hmm. One of them has star upside. The other one is one of the best shooters of the 2020s.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. No, I think good picks. I had a little different. I had Wizards and Cavs as well for pretty much the same reasons. Wizards, you're in, I don't want to say win now mode because it's the Wizards, but you are committing to pieces that will help you win, right? Like you've got AD, championship caliber, Trae Young, who's been to Eastern Conference Finals, as many people forget that. Like, yeah. I'm not saying he's a winner, but these are pieces that will help you win in the future. And you got to keep the main young pieces that you wanted. Trey Johnson didn't go anywhere. Alex Sarr didn't go anywhere. So those two people that I think were a part of your long-term plan that you got to keep and got a star out of it, got AD. So I like that.
And a mentor.
For
Alex Sarr.
Exactly. And AD's talked about how much he likes playing the 4 with another big in the lineup. And Alex Sarr is still able to play the 5. So
he's having a great season, too.
I think, he's
quietly
improved a lot defensively, especially. So that's super big for the Wizards. I have the Cavs as well. I think getting James Harden, although you didn't want to give up Darius Garland, like he was what seemed to be the future of the Cavs, like going forward, right? But I think the writing was on the wall for that team with Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland. They probably achieved their ceiling for the most part.
Apparently, they had known all season that it would be Garland's last in Cleveland,
which is crazy. So.
But following the team as closely as I did, it just wasn't working. And at first, again, against the Knicks, that first season that they had Mitchell, it was a Jared Allen problem.
Yeah.
I think it's become clear since then, after the quote that the lights were too bright. I think it's become clear that the guards defensively, especially, could not coexist. And people always talk about James Harden's defense, but you get much better rebounding over Darius Garland, which we know offensive rebounding, we haven't even talked about this that much, is the strongest this year, maybe in NBA history. That offensive rebounding is officially part of the scheme of 30 NBA teams.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big deal. And then also James Harden has made, again, fourth quarter big plays on defense as well in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I mean, and he's just a bigger body, right?
Yeah, and that means something.
That's the matchup you hunt if you're going against Darius Garland. You, like in pick and roll situation, you want Darius Garland on you, especially if you're a big or just a bigger guard. Like it's pretty easy to pick on him. So I think that helps a lot. And they're 2-0 with James Harden, right? They haven't lost yet. So I think that helps a lot for that backcourt and also playmaking ability. Darius Garland's still a great playmaker, but I do think James Harden is a little more creative, not necessarily a better passer, but just creative in the way that he's able to draw up defenders and then be able to kick it out.
Because of the threat of the scoring.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And then my third team that I have was the Pacers. I thought the Pacers did an incredible trade with getting Zubac. We already have talked about how big of a deal it is that they're going to be able to have a high pick this year because they're be able to get one of the best rookies in one of the best rookie classes that we've seen in a while. So combining Zubac with a pick that they're able to get, Siakam still playing at a high level, all-star. Halliburton will be coming back. And then also, they did give up the first rounder, but that first rounder is protected if it's top 4. So if they have a top 4 pick, they're not losing the first round. And they got rid of a Mathurin who probably was going to demand a lot more money based off the series he had against OKC. And
that Game 7.
He played well.
They still almost won the finals.
Without Halliburton.
Because he was the one that stepped up.
Yeah. So he was probably going to demand a lot more money and probably be getting a contract they wouldn't be comfortable with, and it was his last season, so they're able to move off of him, but get Zubac in return, who I think is one of the most underrated players in the NBA. He's played consistently well for the Clippers through his tenure there, and I just think defensively he's a force that the Pacers didn't necessarily have. They lost Miles Turner, and they're able to get Zubac in return. So I think the Pacers, huge winner of the trade deadline, maybe the biggest winner in my opinion, because just what their future entails now.
If they could make Sabonis work, they could, they've done that before.
Right.
Rick Carlisle has done that before with big centers. And I think the counter argument some people would say was that the Pacers, and here's why I don't have them in my top 3, is because the Pacers are a fast team.
Yeah, and Zubac is pretty stagnant. Yeah.
Right. But I think the way Rick Carlisle likes to play, I do think that you would have sort of that guy who can get rebounds that, again, more important this season than in past seasons. And going forward, he can just be that anchor that they're going to need to be able to still outpace other teams. Mm-hmm. If it's 4 out of 5, you're still looking pretty good. You don't have to go ultra small, and you have the wings.
Yeah,
you have the star guard. You have plenty of wings. You have the star guard. So you add that final piece, and I always say that a championship-winning team has to have an elite interior defender.
Yeah.
They have that.
And Rick has talked about this on podcasts, which is interesting. He likes running 4 out, 1 in sets a lot.
Yeah.
In his opinion, if you're running 4 out, 1 in, you actually get better spacing than 5 out because of the fact that if you have 4 out, you're able to essentially put 1 in extended wings and 2 guards almost near half court and be able to spread them out all the way down to far corner. Mm-hmm. And then the lanes are able to get wider because defenders have to cover more ground because of that, as opposed to 5 out, where you can kind of cheat as a defender a little bit and be able to cover. But those spacing matchups now, I think, are going to be a huge problem, especially if you get Zubac one-on-one in the post, and then he's able to kick it out to shooters.
He's a passer.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. He's able to kick it out to shooters or just play one-on-one basketball himself. So
I agree with that. I think really the cutting, too, with 4 out, 1 in, because if you have a second coming to the paint, that 45-degree cut, he can read it. Yeah. He's one of those players that can read it. So, I think this is absolutely a W for the Pacers, as good as Mathurin was. Yeah. We don't have a short memory about how good he was, but also the money thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Losers.
Go first. I want to hear this. 'Cause we agree on the biggest loser.
Yeah, the Mavericks.
Yeah.
And maybe not necessarily the Mavericks, but GM Nico Harrison. Your Luka, former GM Nico Harrison. Your Luka trade turned out to be Chris Middleton, AJ Johnson, Malachi Brahman, and Marvin Bagley III, which I didn't include picks, but who cares? You didn't get any player value out of that Luka trade, essentially. And if these are going to be the players you get, you best believe you better get double-digit picks out of this, which they did not get. So I would say the Mavericks the biggest loser. And unfortunately, they're not able to see Kyrie, Flag, and AD all play together. They never played all together. So they rushed the timeline of AD on that team, and they still don't have Luka. So that was my biggest loser. I have the Heat as another loser. And the reason I have the Heat as a loser is just because they made no moves. And for that squad, I think they're in good contention. Like, Eric Spoelstra is always going to have them in the playoffs, play-in, whatever it may be. But I do think that they were big in the Giannis sweepstakes, and they didn't make any moves to get him. So I say this preemptively. Without having Giannis on the squad, I think they're a loser because that's one of the biggest people that are one of the free agents that is going to be so sought after going forward that other teams may be putting packages together to get him, and then the Heat look back and be like, wow, maybe if we put a package together during the trade deadline, we would be able to get Giannis from the Bucks. But so I have the Heat as one of my losers. And then I have the Kings. They gave up Keon Ellis. They have no direction as
one young player.
Yeah. They have no direction as a franchise.
No.
That roster's a mess.
They're just looking at the names, I think. DeAndre Hunter's been a good player.
Yeah.
We have players that have been good players. Russell Westbrook, DeMar DeRozan,
Zach LaVine. I don't even. That is a mess of a team.
And they give up their one under 25-year-old player that is really good.
Who cares?
Yeah.
He's playing defense. He's playing both ways. Anyway. But yeah, those are my 3 biggest losers. But I definitely think the Mavericks outdid themselves again, giving up AD. But I will say the future is bright for that team, despite all the mess they've been through. Cooper Flag is playing out of his mind this year. He's an elite player.
He is.
Not even just as a rookie, he is an elite NBA player. The past 2 months, he's been incredible. He's stepped up. We were talking about him a couple segments ago, maybe more than a couple, early on. We were, seeing the growth from him, but now, he's had 40 balls. He's had 30 against they've played really well, or he's played really well. So, despite giving up AD, the Mavericks are still somehow in a place
relevant.
where they can look forward. So, yeah.
Yeah. I agree with you. Mavericks and Kings are losers.
Yeah.
Top 3
for sure.
In the top 3. The only thing I'd say for the Heat why I don't agree necessarily is because, I agree that they're the only one of the 3 Eastern Conference teams that didn't do anything.
Right.
Finally, the Hawks make a trade to make them better, genuinely better.
Right.
And the Bulls cut their losses and said, let's just get assets and spread everything thin. We don't have a lot of trade value, but we're going to trade it anyway because we know we are directionless right now.
Right.
They finally did something where they said, okay, we have a plan for this trade deadline. They didn't just make moves. You don't just make moves.
To make moves. No.
I disagree with a lot of the Chicago people that are saying that they just threw stuff out there and just like, there was a plan.
Right.
They traded players that don't have much of a future with the Bulls.
Right. Like Kobe White, like going forward, he probably
not a number one.
Yeah.
Sorry. I mean, much better pairing with LaMelo Ball as the scoring guard, with LaMelo being scoring, passing, defending, size. I like that combo there.
Right.
But it wasn't going to work in Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was like, oh, we have a Chicago native in Ayo Dosunmu that we love. There was a good package there in Minnesota to get some more second-round picks. Now they have a bunch of capital, somewhat. They can build from there and just say, we have Modis. You know, we have Trey Jones, who's actually really good.
He's playing well this year.
Really good. And they can just kind of build from there. That's better than being just an all-out loser.
Right.
They got worse, but they made
moves for the future
that weren't horrible.
Right.
The Warriors are my third loser.
Yeah.
I think that getting Kristaps Porzingis, and that was about it. After I was in San Francisco at the Warriors game last Tuesday when they lost with Pat Spencer. Well, Brandon Podziemski was the starting point guard, and all of us kind of looked at each other like,
what?
Is that a point guard? No. And he didn't last 15 minutes before it was Pat Spencer, Northwestern legend. Shout out Pat Spencer, the heartbeat of the Golden State Warriors right now. But if you were going to give up Kuminga, they also were going to probably give up Hield as well.
Right.
The only thing you could get was Kristaps Porzingis, where you're just banking on him being healthy. It's grasping at straws. That's my theme for the Warriors. They are grasping at straws and saying maybe Steph will come back healthy and Porzingis will magically come back healthy. We'll sneak into the playoffs, and with our big 3 of Draymond, Steph, and Porzingis, we will make it to the finals.
I will say, though, this is looking forward. With Jimmy and a healthy team, that's a good squad. With Jimmy and a healthy Steph and a healthy...
You're saying next season?
Yeah, with a healthy Kristaps, it's hard to say because Jimmy's going to be 37. Draymond feels like he's pushing 50. That's a good squad. And
agreed.
We'll see what happens. That's all I'm going to say.
And they were like, let's not forget, they were good in the playoffs.
Right.
Like when they entered the playoffs last season, they were decently exciting. They're not too far removed from there. But obviously Kuminga was not a part of their mission. So I don't think it was they didn't made the worst moves, but again, just grasping at straws, saying we'll trade for an always injured player that plays well when he can play. But we'll see how that goes. But yeah, the Heat, going back to the Heat for just a second, if they're going to put together a Giannis package, exactly agreeing with what you said, maybe there were some moves at the trade deadline where they could acquire that capital.
Right.
If that's their plan moving forward, they could have done something to increase their odds.
Because I think the packages are only going to get bigger, for Giannis.
Exactly.
Pause.
Teams are working to put something together to go get him.
Right.
Teams are actively doing that.
Right. And I don't think, I think you could have capitalized on the value that you could have got him now, because I think when he becomes a free agent, a lot of people, or a trade asset once again, a lot of people are going to be doing everything in their power to get Giannis. So.
Exactly. Final segment.
Yep.
Trade deadline's over. NBA All-Star Weekend has arrived.
This weekend.
Who needs All-Star Weekend the most? Probably the Lakers.
Yeah.
They need that break, man.
They need it.
LeBron said they're not a championship team.
I saw that.
Maybe on his way out in the offseason. Maybe back to his hometown.
Cleveland.
We will see. Warriors need it too.
Yeah.
But All-Star break is a time for the NBA to announce changes, exciting future stuff.
Right.
And last Monday, I think it was last Monday.
Yeah, it was last week.
They agreed, or no, they didn't agree. They had a meeting
to
vote
teams.
on expansion teams. Yeah. We do not know the results of those votes or conversations yet. But will we see 2 more teams in the NBA? 32 teams.
I think it's inevitable.
Yeah, it's time.
Seattle needs a team back.
Seattle Supersonics.
They need the Sonics.
And we've got...
Who knows? Vegas? I assume it's Vegas.
Probably Vegas.
Vegas makes the most sense.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
What name do you like? I put 5 options down.
I see them.
Vipers, Pythons, Outlaws, Vultures, and I threw in Cowboys. Because there's not a Cowboys in the NBA. I think it's better than Outlaws. Vegas Outlaws? I don't know.
Vipers are kind of cool. The jerseys for the Vipers would be cool. I feel like.
I think I'm more of a Vegas Pythons.
You like Pythons more than Vipers?
Vegas Vipers sounds kind of weird. Vegas
I know.
Vipers.
It's the alliteration.
Yeah.
It's like,
it's kind of, alliteration is out these days. We're not alliterating anymore. You know, you got to mix it up.
I think the jerseys of the Vipers will look cool. Pythons, Vipers, I don't know.
Las Vegas Pythons.
Yeah.
I like it. I like the name.
I don't know. They're all cool names. I feel like they go with a gambling theme, though. Like Vegas, you can't say Kings, but...
There was one that was like Sinners, Vegas Sinners. Okay. Or the Vegas Sin.
Yeah, the Sins.
Or the Jokers, Spades.
I don't know. The
Las
Aces,
Vegas Spades.
I will say the Aces, the WNBA team, capitalized on that moment
name.
hard because that's a great name.
Yes.
The Aces, like,
with
perfect.
the logo.
Yeah.
Beautiful. But it should be like the red and black.
It definitely needs to be.
It's got to be the red and black.
Yeah.
Like the Aces have the red and black. It's got to be like the...
I don't know.
That's just desert to me.
It screams desert. It screams like
Cards.
card games, right? Gambling. Like that's, I mean, Sin City, but I don't like the Sinner's name though. We need to.
I think they should have an animal that is native to the area. That's what I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Whatever that may be.
Or Cowboys.
Cowboys. Yeah. Whatever desert theme it may be. But Phoenix though. I mean, I guess Phoenix is just the Suns, but. Gaucho? I don't know. Maybe we'll see what that.
We will
like.
see, but I think it's going to happen, and those are going to be the 2 teams.
I think that's the 2 cities that get a team for sure.
Send Memphis to the east.
Do you think Minnesota goes to the east?
Well, I've heard an argument about that because Adam Silver wants more
parity.
Yeah,
I've heard that too.
You'd rather have Ant in the east than Walter Clayton Jr. and his Memphis Grizzlies.
Yeah.
You probably want it that way.
Yeah, exactly.
And put them in the central.
Yep.
And then move like Indiana
over to the west
or something like that. I don't know.
Which is crazy because Indiana might be good. So
right, but you think how close they are to the Great Lakes teams?
They'll be a Midwest like Eastern team, but
yeah.
Even
though it's west of the Mississippi,
right?
And Memphis is east of the Mississippi, but it's on the border. I digress. If an expansion draft happened right now, we're going to create this crazy hypothetical.
Right.
You can only protect 8 players in the whole league. This is a great conversation. I really like this.
Yeah.
I think that there's a lot of players that like are cornerstones for their franchise.
Guys, this might be our longest segment, by the way.
We're choosing 8, though. We're choosing 8.
8 players, but this
I'm going
might
to choose
be
my 8. Then you're going to tell me where I went wrong.
Guys, here we go.
Jason Tatum, Jalen Brunson, Cade Cunningham, Tyrese Maxey, Nikola Jokic, Luka Doncic, SGA, Victor Wembanyama. No Giannis.
I see no
No
Giannis.
Ant.
No
No
Giannis.
Steph. No Donovan Mitchell. Where did I go wrong?
Here's what I will say. Let's start with the obvious. The last 4, there is no one on God's greenest earth that's training those players. Nikola Jokic,
I went
Doncic,
West,
SGA, Wemby. Like those 4,
they're
safe. Cade Cunningham, I think, is safe. I think what he's done for that Pistons team this quickly has showed that that's a player that you're not answering any calls for. The real question I have, if you're Philly, are you that tied to Maxey because of what you have in Edgecombe? Are you is Maxey untouchable?
Yes.
More than Ant?
Maxey's
more than
peak
Steph
is going to be so great.
Is he more untouchable than Ant or Steph, though?
Listen.
Steph's
old. Here's why I don't think he is untouchable for the Warriors. Because they've done it.
But every year they figure out reasons to trade.
It can't go on forever.
Think about this. Every year the Warriors have found a way to make some move that tells us they still believe in Steph. The Jimmy Butler trade. You were getting a wing defender to complement Steph because you lost Clay. You're willing to give up someone who's been there the whole tenure with Steph pretty much.
When will it end? When will the suffering end?
I don't know when it ends. Personally. But the Kristaps trade, the only reason you make that trade is because you think you can come compete. And the only reason they're competing is because of one man on that roster. And his name is Stephen Curry. So
no, Maxey's
I don't know. Is Maxey
the amount of minutes he's playing, the volume of the shot taking, like the attrition, the stamina, the ability to go 82 games, play 40 minutes a game if he had to. He is a physically dominant player at his size, and is absolutely one of the best players in this league and will have an excellent peak. Without him, the Sixers would be lost.
I know. They have a winning
I know they have
record
VJ. I don't care.
I just think that, let's assume...
Trade VJ. I don't care. Trade VJ.
I think you trade VJ for sure. But I just think in this scenario, right, if we're contextualizing it, is he that untouchable compared to these players? And I don't know if he's more untouchable than Steph. But I will say, someone who's not on either of these things, is Cooper Flag untouchable?
We had to limit to 8.
I know.
Caleb.
I know. But I'm just saying, you said...
yeah. If they traded Cooper Flag, they'd have to
burn the city.
Franchise. Yeah.
Burn the city.
Okay.
Burn the city. Actually, burn Dallas.
And they got Kyrie and
them.
And Gafford.
Yeah, Gafford and Lively.
Najee Marshall.
And Chris Middleton.
Yeah, you're right. Like
if we're contextualizing
if we're adding context, as I added context for why Giannis isn't untouchable, if we're applying that same line of reasoning, it would be over for Dallas as a franchise. It'd be over.
Yeah, but I do think 6 of the 8 I think are untouchable. Jason Tatum's untouchable.
Yeah.
Like he's
won championships, and and they're always good.
Right.
They've always been good with Jason Tatum.
Right.
Why would they change anything?
Yeah. So Jason Tatum, I think the 2 I look at are just Brunson and Maxey.
Okay, yeah.
And only people that I would include, I think Steph. I just think Steph.
Ant.
And then Ant. I think if we're adding the context.
I think it's really close, but I'll give it to you, Caleb.
You'll give it to me.
Because we're friends. We can...
Hey, man. That's what we do, right?
Yeah.
That's what we do. But I do think that's about as good as it gets. Like all the names listed are the people. Plus, Cooper Flag because of everything that Dallas has everything they've done in the last 3 months.
Yeah, but Dallas would go up in flames.
Yeah, Dallas would literally.
They have to deal with enough on the football side. So
yeah, shout out to the Cowboys, man. Ooh-wee. But anyway, guys, this has been 303 every week. Tune in here. This has been 303 Hoops. Until next time.